What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today, this is really my first time playing bikes since I've been away for like 5 days or so now. Had a nice time away. You know, I went to see the girlfriend. Really didn't do a whole lot. However, I was actually ill for like 2 days or so, so I just kind of laid in bed, didn't do a whole lot. But you know what, it is what it is. We're on the downside of the illness now, coming back round, and yeah, well enough to keep putting out videos. So happy days. Now, I'm recording this video right after the back of yesterday's video with the whole beta opinion. I am on the on beta 17 right now, so this is really as well a good excuse for me to kind of get my head around the physics a bit more, practice a little bit more. I've had about maybe 30 minutes or so far on the beta, and still getting my head around it. One thing I have kind of noticed that I would hope there's a hotfix for soon is the wind. The wind is quite a distracting thing at the moment. Luckily, I'm only really getting it in motocross. I'm not getting it in supercross at all. I just don't think I'm going fast enough, to be honest. I'm not sure what the I'm guessing there's like a certain speed you have to be going for it to come in. But yeah, I'm not getting in supercross at all, thankfully. And I feel a little bit, almost feel like naked without having the max HUD on the screen. I've had it literally since I got the game. I think as soon as I got the game, I went and downloaded it, and I love having all that information at the end of my fingertips. I love seeing everything that's going on. So definitely feels a bit weird without them, but at the same time, it makes the game look a bit more clean, I suppose. You get to enjoy the game for its glory and what it's worth. Now, the track that I am playing today it's been out a couple of days now, but obviously I've missed the release and stuff from being away. But the track is Meadow Valley MX. I just looked across at my screen to make sure I was getting that right. That's where I went off the track, don't hate me. And it's a track by Eric's on the MXB mod site, and it is a replica track actually, which I wasn't aware of until I read the description. Oh god, okay, you can definitely step onto that. And it's a track that's only 2 miles away from Spring Creek, which I think is pretty cool. And again, which is why I'm quite envious to a lot of you people from the US, where somehow you manage to get all this land with all these tracks in close proximity to each other. Sorry, I mean, if I want to go to a track nowadays, like your average every weekend sort of practice track, I need to travel 2 hours. So not so lucky for me, but we move. This track is, I think it's the second track that I've covered by Eric's, and I really enjoyed the, I can't remember the name of it, what I've done, but I remember it sticking into my head as being a track that I really enjoyed. And so far, first impressions, I've just done a lap of this track, and it seems really nice. It flows really well. I think my choice of the 450 might be a little bit overkill, I'm afraid. I'm pretty sure this definitely looks like a 250 or even a 125 sort of track. I don't think you'd have any issue clearing any of the jumps on the smaller bikes, to be honest with you. But as first impressions go, I'm actually really enjoying it. Now, usually I'd be staring over the left-hand side of my screen right now, looking for that max HUD map to see like what's coming up and what's next. But luckily, there's no like super blind jumps that just veer off into a corner straight afterwards, or there's no singles I accidentally send with a corner straight after him as well. So really good so far. I don't have the timing up at the top left to be able to tell if all of the timing gates are set up correctly. I feel it's like this video is really just going to be a I miss max HUD kind of video. But no, we'll get it soon, I hope. I have no idea. I'm not sure if the guy who made the mod is still involved in the game in any way, but I really hope he is. I've got on the updated tyres, which are very thankful to Insane for putting out a fix so quickly for the tyres. The issue is a lot of people run I think it's the Dunlops, made by GeoPanda, from a long time ago, and the actual values inside that tyre were locked, so they were the beta 16 values. However, we was then using it on beta 17, and it didn't work. It's not how the game was intended to be played. It makes the physics all janky. So if you are using those old ones, please do delete them. Please reinstall them. Insane's updated them as of, what's the day today? I'm not sure what the day is, but whenever you're watching this, yesterday it's been updated, so go and download them. They're out. They're on the MX Fights Mods website, and if I'm nice enough, if I remember, I will try and include it in the description of this video as well. I always forget these things. I always say things in videos and then completely forget. And some of you might be like, oh, don't you watch back and edit the videos and so on and so forth. I really only, for these sorts of videos, edit out any like silences in the middles. for the most part, they're just kind of like one takes, and I'll only have a quick scroll through if I know that there's been any like heavy swearing, I might censor it, or if I know there's been an awkward pause where I've had to like take a couple seconds and start talking again, I might cut that out. But for the most part, they're just all done in one go. So a lot of the time I'll record a video, say something that I'm going to do in the video, and then when it comes time to actually posting it and uploading it to YouTube, I just completely forgotten what I've said. So if the link's there, cool. If not, I do apologise. Just comment, and I'm sure I'll be able to reply. I quite often see people trying to help you guys in the comments with links to things and this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, YouTube just doesn't allow links in the comments. I guess it's really to stop like bot spam. I know you always get the bots, don't you? It's like hot single mums in your area, or like Saucy Stacy 69, like follow me on this website, blah blah blah, and it's good. I'm glad I haven't really got to do much moderation in my YouTube comments. You guys are all fairly well behaved. You get the occasional dickhead, but that's to be expected. It is the internet. Oh, let's try and send it this lap. I completely messed up. Let's try again. I'm going to try the... I don't know actually. I might try the outside, see how it goes. So, biggest change for me... So, there's two big changes. If you didn't watch yesterday's video on my... it was a little bit of a rant-type video, actually. There wasn't a whole lot of structure to it. I just jotted a few things down that I noticed from the changes, and I've just noticed there's a Supercross track. I will be trying that in a second. Two big things for me. One is the traction. Traction has changed. And two... There, see? Right there. I don't think I normally would have stood out like that. And then two is the in-air physics as well. Those are the two things that I've... like noticeable differences to me that are going to take time to get used to. I think if you're kind of doing small whips and scrubs, say like no difference, it's exactly the same. It's when you then try and send massive whips and try and send oppos and such that's when it gets a little bit wonky. And I've messaged Proboso, I've kind of given him my thoughts on it and think that the in-air stuff needs a little bit more tuning. On the ground, however, I'm actually perfectly happy with how the bike feels and reacts. I actually enjoy there being less traction. Now, that's for the simple reason of I kind of like pride myself on my throttle control in this game. I feel like I'm quite good at gently rolling on the throttle as I slide out on the face of a jump right there. We'll pretend that didn't happen. But I generally think that we've had way too much grip on this game for a very long time. I mean, on 250s, you can literally be dragging bars around flat corners just with no penalty, and I don't think that's realistic whatsoever. So whilst a lot of people are probably really hating on the fact we've got less grip now because it means they can't go as fast and they can't rail corners as hard as they used to, I actually think it's a positive, and I think it will lead to more realistic racing, more realistic tracks being made without these like absolutely massive lines that are possible, and I just like it. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm sure 99% of everyone else's opinions is the complete opposite way, but I can only go off of what I like and what I enjoy. I think it's good. I mean, the 450s are so powerful in this game that we do need some sort of reason to hold them back, and I do think that the throttle is one of those things. I've hopped on Supercross. I've tried I tried round 4, so Anaheim 2 of the Supercross Championship, and I could do all the same normal lines as I was. There's absolutely no change there. You just have to be a bit more patient with it, and that's something that I feel like a majority of the community aren't ready to accept yet, is being patient with your riding and not being able to just send it and hit everything tapped. However, but being patient is my sort of riding. This whoop section is very difficult, by the way. I struggled with it last lap as well. Yeah, it's just my kind of thing. And if any of you have watched like my main event races in Supercross this year, you'll know that I tend to just try and be a bit more consistent than anything. I don't really try and go for heaters every single lap. I mean, last round it really helped me out. So round 4, spoilers if you haven't watched it. If you haven't watched it, I don't know why. You're literally like a week behind. I did manage to get the win, and I was 17 seconds down in one point in like P9, and just from like being consistent and not crashing and not doing any fancy lines, not throwing down absolute heat, and like lap times that I was quite happy with. I just managed to come back, get the lead, and barely won. Hurls was right on my bum. He was so close, but managed to hold him off. But he rode an excellent race, so shout out to him as well. Even though I still hate you because you've stolen 2 of my world records, but I digress. We move. Oh god, these whoops are ridiculously hard. Oh my god, almost coming to a stop in them. If anybody else has played this track, let me know if that is a genuine feature of this track, or if that's more beta 17 things. But overall, I'm kind of really really enjoying this. Both tracks so far have been fairly enjoyable, and this track isn't the most difficult by any means. I'm sure there's some big triples and stuff that I'm missing out on. I always struggle trying to like find these big lines when I'm sitting here talking to you guys. It's very, very difficult. I feel like when your attention's spread between two things, such as like talking and trying to play, for example, very, very hard to do one or the other really well. But so you get a mixture of both. Can I triple in here? Oh, you can definitely triple in here. That's something that I need to get used to with the throttle. We'll go back over to the national track just because it's easier. Haven't got to concentrate so much. Yeah, tracks are really, really good. I do like, which I've said on a few tracks that have been released lately, I like the colours, the decals on the track. I feel some tracks don't quite get it right when it comes to the colours. Like the dirt might be too dark, so you can't really see the textures, or the lighting might be off a little bit, so it's really hard to see the ruts. But no, Eric's has done he's done a very good job here, and I have no idea what this track's like in real life, but there's got to be at least one of you in the comments of this video that's ridden this track in real life, so please do let me know how it kind of compares as such. I'd be interested to know. I always like hearing how the replicas are for you guys, because there's a replica of one or two tracks I've ridden in real life in this game, and as I say, it's really, really nice being able to play a track that you have ridden and just be able to compare it, and it's almost like it's not surreal, so to speak, but it's just a different kind of experience. And those of you that have played like your home tracks in game, for example, know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a different sort of feeling you get than when you're playing the game normally. You almost like approach the track differently to how you normally would, and I know that I certainly do that with some tracks. I try and ride it a bit more realistic rather than just be pinned everywhere. But overall, in this video, the in-air physics haven't screwed me over at all. The only thing that's let me down has been the traction, but again, that's all going through my my index finger. Well, actually, no, it's my middle finger. I don't use my index finger for throttle. I use my middle finger. Some of you might be like, how on earth do you do that? I play claw, so I use my middle finger on the throttle and right trigger, and then my index finger is actually wrapped around and pressing all of the buttons like the shift gear for me and all that good stuff. So yeah, just actually, if you have no idea what it looks like, just Google claw grip, like gaming claw grip, and I'm sure there's a Google image of someone holding a controller in like a claw grip, and that goes all the way back down to like my Modern Warfare 2 days, for example, just when I was a real like sweaty tryhard and was trying to like drop shot people without changing my button layouts and this, that and the other. But it's just something that I've carried through with me all through my gaming. Like I've used it on Sim, use it on Reflex, use it on this. It's everything that I play now, I play claw. It's just how I'm used to, and I find that I have a lot more throttle control with my middle finger than my index finger. So personal preference, you know. Yeah, I won't be changing that. And if you guys are kind of like, oh, is that why he's good at the game? Maybe I should change. Just stick to what you're used to. It's definitely not a reason I'm good at the game. I mean, 1,000 hours, and obviously I played Sim a bunch. And over the years, when you play various games, like various difficult games, that is, I feel like you pick up the little like you pick up little things on games, and you learn how to get good at them quicker, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, fairly short, and actually it might not be that short video. I've been going for 13 minutes here without even realising, but quite a nice easy video to get me back into it. My first day playing MX bikes in a couple of days now, so didn't have the muscle memory there, which I think might be helping me a little bit with the new beta and the new physics. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time before the Supercross race on Friday. I believe it is still going ahead, just trying to get used to the physics a bit more, give myself as much of a chance of doing well as possible. I know that the update is exactly the same for everybody, so we're all on an equal playing field still. However, I would really like to carry on doing well, as I am leading the championship currently by, I think it's 14 points ahead of Jack. Fortunate for me, he actually retired from the last race. He was pretty down bad off the start, and I know how easy it is just to rage quit a race. When you are down that bad. I probably would have done it a handful of times already this season if I wasn't live streaming them. But please do come by and watch if it's going ahead as normal. If not, I'll try and replace it with a different sort of stream. We'll see what happens, but it'll be on Friday. And yeah, that'll do it for me. Please do drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. I really appreciate it as always. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're growing every single day. Really nice to see. Thank you everyone so much for the support. And that'll do it for me. Until I catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
My tent way too damn dark. Laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back. Had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see. It's all good. That's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down. Now I'm in a 350. Like whoa, I've been laying way too low. Had to switch up and change my flow. Cause I'm back from the block. Had to bust some rocks and dust off the dust to get back in the box. Now why you wanna